On this edition of Tuesday Newsday, we'll talk about the return of Tony Hawk, Microsoft's Xbox Series X event, recent Nintendo sales numbers, The Mandalorian Season 2, and lots more breaking news. Welcome to CSN. Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday Newsday. We gotta move quick today. We have a lot of news to cover quickly. A lot of breaking news today, actually, so I had to basically redo this entire video because Summer Game Fest has kicked off with Jeff Keighley. We're going to actually start that off because Tony Hawk is back. The remaster of Tony Hawk 1 and 2 is back. It's coming out September 4th, 2020. They actually gave a release date in this event. Now, it was really short, this Summer Game Fest initial opening salvo. Very short event. They just showed Tony Hawk, the remaster. They actually showed gameplay, which was nice. They had Tony Hawk speaking as well as, I believe, the producer. So let's take a look here. So now, one of the things I want to note is the soundtrack. Now, people have been clamoring for this remaster for quite a while now. And it's my speculation that one of the things that's been holding it up is the licensing for particularly the music, which can always be tricky in video games. So we have one shot of the soundtrack where you got Power Man 5000, Bad Religion, Dead Kennedys, Goldfinger. You gotta have Goldfinger, of course. Millencolin, I don't remember who they are, I don't think. Naughty by Nature, Papa Roach, Primus, Lagwagon, I don't know who they are, and Rage Against the Machine, and more. So, that's really cool. We're getting a classic soundtrack to it. One of the things they talked about, original modes and online multiplayer. It says, so what they mentioned in this, where they were just kind of talking on cam, the three of them, they said they focused a lot on creating levels, customization of levels, and the fact that you can share them online with friends, and friends can actually edit the levels themselves. They really stressed sort of the customization on that. It'll be interesting, too. They talked about analog sticks and using those because, you use the D-pad on the old Tony Hawk games, which I believe they mentioned that you can use the D-pad if you want on it. So that's cool. They also mentioned including some aspects of Tony Hawk 3 and 4, like certain moves. They were pretty vague about that, but they said that there were things in Tony Hawk 3 and 4 that they felt they were in their memory was in 1 and 2. So they thought it best to put those in. They didn't mention too many specifics on that, but that is pretty cool. We're getting Tony Hawk back remastered. They're obviously going to make it look better, sound better, and keep the foundation. That's kind of what they pitched. And online modes is definitely an interesting aspect of it too. And they gave a release date again. So the opening salvo from Summer Game Fest, not bad. Short, but to the point, concise. I like it. Alright, let's move over to Xbox Series X event. Now, there really wasn't much to talk about here. A lot of trailers, a lot of cinematics, not much gameplay. I want to talk about two things with the Series X event. First of all, it opened with a game called Bright Memory Infinite. This is a Chinese developer, supposedly made by one person, which I'm a bit incredulous about that. It does look cool. You can actually play a slice in early access of it. I don't know, I just found it weird to open with, even though it does look interesting and it has potential. And the other trailers looked intriguing, but not nearly enough to go on to make a proper assessment. But got to talk about the biggest news of that, I think, which was probably Ubisoft, and not in a good way. Ubisoft has been hyping up this trailer as their first gameplay reveal trailer. Even during the event, they kept mentioning, coming up, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Unfortunately, it had no gameplay. It had a just, really short and basically cinematic. And this has been a problem for the massive AAA publisher Ubisoft, where over the years they do this. They show game demos that don't accurately represent their games. Now, I can understand they're saving it for their own event, but it's all in the messaging. You can't call it a gameplay trailer if there is no gameplay. And you can see on YouTube that their video has been downvoted quite a bit. And you can understand why. You can understand why. So let's see here. Okay. So, one thing I want to touch upon real quick is Microsoft keeps talking about smart delivery. From what it seems like is that like, say, if you buy Halo Infinite on Xbox One X, you will then have that copy, the Series X copy, if and when you buy Series X. So essentially, you don't have to like buy it again for the next console, which is really cool if that's what it really is. I'm not quite sure. But that would be pretty cool if that's what smart delivery is. All right, now we're going to talk about Nintendo's sales figure, but real quick, before we talk about Nintendo's sales figures, I want to go over quickly some of the breaking news today. Just little stuff. Okay. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch returns as Predator Hunting Grounds DLC. That has gotten mixed reception. It's an asynchronous multiplayer game where one person plays as a Predator, and then you have, like, I think 4 other people playing versus a Predator. So Arnold's joining as Dutch. That's kind of cool, I guess. What else we got here that's of interest? Harvest Moon One World announced for Nintendo Switch. That's kind of cool. Harvest Moon is certainly a classic. Man Eater, a little bit of news there. That's the Shark Attack game. I don't know. People are kind of into that. But I guess you play as a shark and you can eat people, and it's kind of silly and fun. What else we got? Oh, Sony has a direct style state of play live stream. It's going to take place this Thursday. I might have to cover that, but the problem is it won't be about PS5, and apparently it's going to be a special episode dedicated to Ghost of Tsushima. It'll air at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and last 18 minutes. Okay, I'll probably talk about it in the next news segment, but yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, people are hyped about that. I like the studio. I love the Infamous games, but we haven't seen much on Ghost of Tsushima, so I don't really have enough reason to get excited about it. Switch sales top 55 million. Animal Crossing is over 11 million. Switch is killing it in sales. Lifetime sales 55.77 million. That's 20 less than 3DS, but and the DS is at 154 million units sold, which is insane. But the Switch obviously hasn't been out for a long time, so those are still very positive sales. They also revealed that 356 million units of software have been sold. That's just under 3DS's, 383. So it's catching up to 3DS on every angle. But the DS, almost 1 billion units of software sold. That's been out for a while, but I don't know if it's going to catch the DS. That's pretty crazy. Now let's look at software. Games, top selling games for Nintendo. Number 1, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 24.77 million. These are as of March 31st. I assume this is all worldwide. Number 2, 18 million. Super Smash Bros. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 3, 17.41 million, which I think is the best game on the system. And it's actually tied for Super Mario Odyssey, which is interesting. Pokemon Eevee. Then it's Animal Crossing in there. 11.77 million. Splatoon 2. Super Mario Party is in there. Kind of strange. And new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So, Nintendo Switch killing it for sure. They're kind of carving their own path. They're not really competing with Sony or Microsoft. That's kind of their MO for the past 10 years. All right, moving along, we got The Mandalorian Season 2. Just want to talk about this real quick. Hollywood Reporter has a scoop saying that, yes, in fact, Boba Fett will be in Mandalorian Season 2. And it will be played, I apologize if I mispronounce his name, but Tamura Morrison. That is the actor who portrayed Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones. So just a little bit of information there. Now, obviously, Season 1 made obvious implications that Boba Fett would be in Season 2. It's all about the implication. But now we kind of know. So, yeah, that's cool. I'm game. All right. And then we wanted to talk about here, last bit of news, more gaming delays. As the global pandemic continues to impede the gaming industry as well as every facet of life, we get more delays. So Nintendo Switch brawler called Ninjala delayed from May 27th to June 24th. Not a big delay, but they specifically cited the pandemic as the reason, and yeah, it might get delayed again. I actually don't know much about that. Apparently it's a colorful brawler, which could be fun. The Warframe expansion Duviri Paradox. Don't know if I pronounced that correct. That is delayed till 2021 at best. And then we have TGS Tokyo Game Show, which is also, well, that's just canceled, which is not really a surprise. TGS is a pretty big gaming event. It was definitely impressive, more so back in the day, but still brings in a lot of people. And that's canceled. It will have an online event, though. Speaking of online events, Ubisoft July 12th is going to have an online event. We'll definitely be covering that. We don't know what they're going to talk about yet. Obviously, we may hear something from Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, hopefully Gods and Monsters. That is my most anticipated Ubisoft game. I believe it's Ubisoft Quebec. It seems to be a game that's inspired by Breath of the Wild style open world, which, yes please, because I'm getting burnt out on the open world checklist, stuff all over the map formula. So, Gods and Monsters, make it happen. So yeah, July 12th, Ubisoft event. Maybe we'll hear something about Beyond Good and Evil 2 or Skull and Bones. Hopefully, we'll see. Those aren't really games that particularly interest me in a huge way, but I am curious to see how they do. So I think that about covers it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we had a lot of news today, break today. I had to redo the video, which is always fun. Make sure to sub and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'm also on Twitch for live streams and iTunes and Podbean with podcasts. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody. Bye.